Hi, my name is Irene Yu.
I'm Colana.
I'm Michael.
I'm Michelle Waffle, and today we're becoming the X-Men.
Hi, I'm Jax of Jax Cosplay, and today I'm becoming Magneto. There was a local comic book store in my hometown that I would beg my dad to go to, so he usually would take me after soccer games. The X-Men are probably the gold standard for me, at least.
My parents came home with like one of those variety packs of comic books, and there were some Marvel comics in there. And I will never forget the first one I ever saw. It was one that had Rogue and Gambit like embracing. I'm like, oh, what is this?
I'm 10 years younger than my brother, and he was the one who introduced me to these things like comics, playing video games, and I would sneak into his room and just like, oh my God, what is this? What is this? And I just became fascinated with it.
What drew me to the X-Men, I think, is just the fact that they were different. Avengers and everybody, they have their thing, but X-Men, they were strange from the beginning.
Well, I think one of the cool things about X-Men is that it's such a diverse group. You've got people of different ethnic backgrounds, people of different, I guess, origins, similar to real life, that we all come from different industries and different backgrounds.
My first cosplay ended up being Blade. I got a lot of looks from that one. And then from there, it just spiraled out of control. Magneto, he's one of my all-time favorite supervillains. I don't see him as really a villain, more as a revolutionary. I looked through hundreds of pictures of Magneto. I went through all of that. How is it gonna look, looking at the limitations. And it ended up being probably one of my all-time favorite cosplays.
My background's in dance, and when I went to a convention for the first time, I saw all these people in all these different vibrant costumes, and so I felt like this is another outlet for me to kind of perform. Growing up as a 90s kid, just the 90s genre is just really important to me, so I wanted to do Psylocke in a 90s version.
3 years ago is when my wife and I went to our first con. Well, it was the first con and also the first time dressing up at a con. We felt like a celebrity for people wanting to take pictures with you and everything. Scott, I thought, you know what, I think I can pull that off. The first thing that drew me into him was the costume. The bold blue and gold colors, the contrast, and then just the fact that he was the leader.
So this all goes back to my brother. He actually went to a convention when I was really young. And so my brother took me and I was like starstruck. And I was like, oh, they're dressed like the character. Can I do that? My love for Rogue, for one thing, was she was one of the top powerful female characters of all. But she uses herself as a symbol of good, even though she can take the life of everybody.
I always loved Halloween, but you only get to dress up once a year. And so I thought, well, hey, I could dress up every time I go to one of these conventions and people won't think I'm silly. They'll be like, oh my gosh. I gravitated mostly towards Jean Grey. I think maybe it started with the red hair. It was just very fiery and spunky.
Being on a con floor with a group of people from like the same squad, that is fun. You basically turn into a celebrity.
It's exciting to be able to meet new people. You know, you kind of already know who they are through social media. Actually,
Jax Cosplay, he organized a huge X-Men meetup.
I heard about him, but I never knew who he was through a mutual friend.
He's super welcoming, and I just met him at a convention, and I don't know, it's been awesome.
Organizing the X-Men, even though I was Magneto, there's a lot of iron in this knee.
Well, we all like our bad boys, right?
When you cosplay as a group, you have this great energy.
You know, you kind of just roll up in there and everybody's taking pictures, and that makes it more comfortable.
I didn't know any of these people, but when we go to a convention, we're like, hey, you're in my universe.
It's just an automatic connection, because you know that they've put in the time to make their costumes, and then, I mean, we'll run into people and they're like, oh my gosh, this is my childhood.
It's just cool to just see people who you love and that they love too. You have this community as a mutant to kind of celebrate our differences, and that's really how wonderful this is.
Everybody there is just to support you, especially in these groups, and you're like, oh my God, I'm not alone in my love for this character.
I'm living out my childhood. I always wanted to be an X-Man, especially doing it with like-minded people, people that look like me, people of different ethnicities, and that's what I like the most. And that's what X-Men represent.